Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Sketching. This is day 10 of my 5-minute sketching challenge. I hope you're having a great day. So today, basically, I started this sketch using my Jensinki ink brush from the Procreate. I wanted to do a kind of like a pencil sketch because I've always been into graphite sketching right at the beginning when I did art when I was probably about 15 years old. All I ever used to do was do everything using a pencil, so graphite. I never really liked using colour. It was always kind of, I was just fascinated with the different tones and textures you could get with a HB pencil, and like, you know, that rough graphite that you get when you scrape it across paper. I was always fascinated and in love with it, so I thought I'd try something like that today rather than use colour. And so what I did was I chose just an object found in the toolbox, a spanner, because it has sharp edges and you can kind of, like, you know, vary the tone of the brush that you're using. So I basically started off with the Jensinki brush and kind of laid out the colour to get the shape rather than sketch it out, which is kind of the theme of this 5-minute sketching challenge, to just do things quickly. I mean, this sketch took probably about 15 minutes to complete because I got overexcited as usual, carried away and forgot all about time. So again, it's sped up to fit into this 5-6 minute video, but yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Because I love using the grey tones. It just brings this kind of, like, you know, raw element to the drawing, and you can go into it with as much detail as you want. So I just laid out the kind of shape of the object, and now with the HB pencil, kind of just outlining some of the areas. I mean, you don't want to outline everything because then it just becomes a bit flat and a bit like just kind of like a colouring in sketch. Whereas if you're trying to do a little bit of realism, you kind of want to just outline the edges where the kind of the darks are, or on the opposite end where the light's hitting but you can't see it as much. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of like outlining those edges with the straight lines. And again, because we're working on digital, it's just so easy to kind of turn the canvas around and, you know, work at your best angle. Because sometimes, well, this is my case anyway, if you're trying to draw like a straight line or a certain type of shape, your hand has to be in a certain position and you've got to constantly move your hand around or your arm around the paper. But whereas when you've got an iPad and a digital screen, you can just use that pinch and rotate function to just turn your page around, which is brilliant. So I'm just working on the detail on the kind of edges, and where the light's hitting, I'm using my cross-hatching lines to kind of come up with a bit of texture and a bit of variance. And I was really impressed with the overall look. I mean, at the end of the drawing, I basically just stood back and then looked at it again, and for a moment it actually felt like I've drawn this on paper with a real pencil. And that's exactly the type of effect that I'm after, the rustic, raw, traditional effect. But again, without wasting any pencils or any trees for the wood on paper. It's just brilliant. It's a win-win situation, really. So I'm just adding a bit of shadow on the object using the airbrush on another layer, and it works really well. When you add a shadow in, it kind of really makes the drawing pop out in 3-dimensional space on a 2-dimensional kind of platform. So just adding more darker areas on the actual object itself, and then what I did was I lightened out the area that I had dark over here on the strip. Whereas in real life, if you laid down your graphite, it's very difficult to remove, especially if you've gone in really dark. Again, that's another advantage of digital. So now all I'm doing is putting in some highlights with the gel pen, which is in the pen brushes. That's available on Procreate. Really nice brushes. So I just lowered the opacity down and kept quite a thin line, and just kind of you know, noticing the highlight areas where the light's coming from, because how I had this set up was that the light was kind of distributed evenly, and it was bouncing off my kind of monitor, so it was kind of like a little bit all over the place. It wasn't just in one direction, but that works. I mean, in the end of the day, it's to make something look a lot more interesting than it is, and if you kind of vary vary your line strokes and your kind of marks, it kind of just brings your eye to different areas of the shape. But yeah, I was really happy with this. I hope you're trying the 5-minute sketch challenge yourself, and if you haven't already, please do, and let me know in the comments below how it's going for you, because to be honest with you, it's been 10 days now. I've been doing 10 sketches. I've actually been doing a lot more than these 5-minute sketches, because I do spend quite a lot of time with the iPad, but I've automatically felt a difference that whereas before I'd be thinking too much about what I'm drawing, now I'm just naturally just drawing it from kind of like, looking at it, and it's that slow improvement. So I would definitely give this a go. Thank you so much for your time and your support. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give the video a thumbs up, and please also subscribe to the channel for more content, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. So take care of yourself, and peace.